Dungeons & Dragons has gone through several different phases over the years. From the satanic panic in the 1980s to its modern-day popularity in movies and TV shows, D&D has made a mainstream comeback. Now, as its appeal grows wider, D&D and other tabletop games are taking on a new role in therapy, where mental health professionals are using fantasy worlds to help patients confront their innermost struggles.
I think what drew me to using tabletop games as a way of therapy was a couple of things. First of all, I've played tabletop games since I was a kid. And I was aware that there was this research suggesting that playing role-playing games might be beneficial for these groups who had been traumatized.
Tabletop games are very different from other forms of therapy, not so much in the skills that we're teaching, but it's how we go about doing it that's really different. Role-playing is not anything new in therapy. But the thing is you are role-playing yourself in those scenarios. What tabletop gaming does is it gives us a character. Having that character seems to make a humongous difference at helping to get past people's defensive walls and let them fully engage with the moment and to be there.
We're here today at a homeless hostel. I think one of the major challenges here is getting the homeless clients maybe to engage with services that are offered to them and to maintain that engagement.
The different intervention styles, the different tools that we teach people, we know that we can hit them out of the park. It's getting people to come in and actually participate. That's the hard part, because therapy involves us looking at the parts of us we don't like so much. And sometimes we don't have the energy to do that every week. But if we can find a form of therapy that's rewarding, they're more likely to come in. And so that's why game therapy can be so powerful for people.
Even though role-playing games have been around since the 70s, their use as a therapy tool is relatively new. Because of that, the data surrounding long-term benefits is almost non-existent. The short-term effects, however, are felt almost immediately.
Some of the people who come in, you just see them respond, I suppose, as anybody does when they play a game. They light up, they get engaged, and that's an immediate response. And then afterwards, we ask them for their feedback. And I've got a quote here from one of our clients, and she said, "I enjoyed playing someone different, playing a brave character instead of just running away. I can see how playing different people and facing challenges could help me to become more confident." And that was somebody who had a lifetime of trauma. And the hope would be that if they keep on playing the game and they come back week after week, month after month, then we can affect a bigger change in them.
Really what role-playing is practice. Practice standing up for themselves, practice saying no, practice talking. It really gives people permission to try that stuff. They have had those successes and learned some lessons in those groups where then they can go out and try those things out.
As more therapists are trained in the practice, we'll see gaming take on a higher purpose, unlocking wider access to treatment and changing how we approach mental health struggles all around the world.
One of the main strengths of game therapy is it increases the accessibility. It's essentially self-motivating. You turn up not for the therapy, you turn up for the fun in the game. Whilst you're here, you experience that as therapeutic.
How therapy and mental health are viewed changes country by country. Different diagnoses are different depending on the country that somebody is in. And so it's going to take time for these newer forms of therapy, such as game therapy, to take on in those places. But I think it will. I know this because I've actually consulted with people in Australia, Africa, different parts of Europe who are bringing tabletop gaming into their therapy practices there.
Game Therapy UK is a new charity. We've only been operating for a couple of years, but already there's been a huge demand for our work. We're looking at projects in neurodivergence this year, also possibly moving into people who are living in prison populations. The beauty of therapeutic gaming is you can just redesign the game to any client group. And as long as our clients are interested in playing games, then you kind of got them.